What's up, guys? Jay Holm here from B2 Audio. Just want to give a shout out to my man MB for testing and doing all those boxes he does for the 8s. He's the man for doing that. And also wanted to let you know that, hey, we're back in the US.
I welcome y'all to MBE. What you about to see, box building in a different league. In this SQL scene, believe that money ain't a thing when it comes to its kings. Now that's fact, not fiction. Call 44694 48 then 18. Don't matter, you got 4 8s or 1 8 or anything between. He got what you need.
You can check more out at b2audiousa.com, or you can hit up my boy MB and he'll set you up too.
There are times when manufacturers, in order to get the performance they want, will utilize a magnet structure that is very, very close to the actual cutout of the driver. I've known the Crossfire C7 was one of them. The B2 Audio CC8 was another. I can't remember the other subwoofer that I used. Just in the 8-inch arena, that the cutout and the motor structure were very, very similar. But because I'm a box builder, there's little tricks that we as box builders have devised to get around that. And I'm gonna show you one right now. Let me turn this camera around. What you do is you cut the cutout. Now understand, if you use the cutout with this particular driver, the magnetic boot itself matches the cutout, the outside edge of the mounting screw. The inside edge is where we're trying to get. Now the magnetic, when you take the magnetic boot off, this line here, if you go straight up, matches the inside of this screw hole right here. So on a traditional mounting, you're gonna have to take that magnetic boot off. If you use the inverse mounting, it's not gonna matter. Just make sure that you have enough room for the surround to not interact the wood. But you cut the cutout, take the magnetic boot off, and with the B2 Audio, use a 6 and 1.25. 6 and 1.25 with the magnetic boot off. And then I want you to cut a notch. You can use a jigsaw, or you can sequentially use screw bits until you have a notch cut inside the mounting baffle. That notch is simply for this. It's for you to put the woofer. Put it here. Let y'all see it in action. Okay. So I put the speaker wire in the notch. Y'all know I hurt my hand a while ago, so I have to be careful. Now it's in the notch. See, it slides right on in. And then once I get down to the basket, I can go ahead and turn it, and the wire will work itself in. It will no longer be impeded by the magnet. And enables me to seat the driver correctly. Now, of course, this is a very, very tight hole. I'm going to use, say, like a little small precision screwdriver and make sure that each has a significant meat. I'm going to move it around. Now, B2 Audio inside the box gave you some gaskets. I'm going to show you the gaskets that I like to use. Yeah, now I remember the other two. The Atomic Speakers APX8, the cutout matched the size of the motor. Y'all might see that again here soon. And I remember there was another company, Crystal Audio Solutions, and I believe they still have. The motor structure is very, very large. You're gonna have to cut a notch cutout inside the speaker cutout with the magnetic boot off, and you'll be able to get the drive seat better to seat the driver and have more bite for the screw. But these are the these are now, of all those brands, B2 Audio is the one that Jay knew that it's very, very gonna be a very, very tight connection. And some of us do not like to go on the 12 gauge speaker wire. You could put 14 gauge or something and probably have no problem, but we want to get max transfer of wattage to the driver. So he thought about that, and he supplied, the only one I've seen since I've been doing this with 8s in 2014, gaskets. And they're sufficient. I mean, they will sufficiently get the job done. But I'd like to do a lot more easier. So I use a company called Frost King. Okay, Frost King, not this size here. Frost King, because don't look at this. Don't get this size. You want to get 3/16 of an inch width. I believe it's a 1/4 high, and the roll is 10 feet long. It comes in a package similar to this package here, okay? So you want to get a width that says 3/16 of an inch here, and wide maybe 1/4, 0.25. And you're gonna wind up with it looking like this, okay? You put this on the underside of the basket. Cut the notch. Put the speaker wire on the notch, seat it down. Boom, this is gonna seat and fill up the little spaces. Make sure you got the wood bite, screw it in, no problem. I just thought I'd give you that little tip, Bill. That little tip, because I'm a boss builder. I do this for a living. It's also to let you know, I'm gonna say this too, it's also some PSA to let you know, most likely when you get these type drivers, you need to get you a custom box builder.